with an introduction to digital audio production with me, Tom. So last time we left off, we were working on the breakdown, which is we've been spending a lot of time on, but that's cool because it's one of the most important parts, and we come up with this cool sound here. Just kind of turned into kind of one of the main themes for the big build-up. So I'm just going to focus on this a little bit and finish it off. We didn't quite finish it off last time, so let's have a listen. Alright, so first thing I want to do is that comes in and it's a little bit too intense. It comes in a little bit suddenly, so I think a good way to mask that would be to open up an auto filter, turn it into a high pass, and have it just sweep down at the start. So if we get our automation line here, drag it down, make a point, maybe even a little bit shorter. That sounds good. What I might do is with this gain on this utility, which we use to gate it over here, I might just duck the volume when that snare hits. Where is it? Right there. So I'm just going to bring the gain down there. So let's have another listen to that. Sounds good to me. Now I'm going to leave the drop now for a bit. Let's work on just getting a very simple structure to end our tune. So first thing I'm going to do is just have a look at what we've got over here. Okay. Right. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this quite far down. Drag it all the way down the end. I still want to keep this. We might use it a bit later. So I'm just going to put it right down past where the tune will definitely finish. So here's our drop which we've been working on. So what we can do now is we can actually select everything after it. So clicking from the top left, holding down shift and clicking down the bottom right, we can delete all of that. That's all gone, and we can take this and let's duplicate it 3 times, so we've got 4 copies of it. Excellent. And now let's duplicate that again. And that should be enough for us to slowly subtract away to make the outro of our song. So here's our drop. Sounds good. Let's add this clip over and see what that sounds like. Got to make sure that we... So let's just make sure that the auto filter, we had a low pass there and it was right down so it wasn't making any sound. Let's go back to here. Get rid of that hi-hat. We don't need that hi-hat in there. We'll leave it there. In fact, we'll get rid of every second one, just so there's a bit of a kind of a bit of a burst every 16 bars. For this main synth here, I might get rid of the ping pong delay, so I'm going to select the dry wet value, bring it right down, and if we select that in Command or Control Delete, it'll remove the automation line for us. And we can actually go in here, let's change a few of these notes just so it's a little bit different. I might just select every second one, hold down shift, push up, make it an octave above. So that sounds Maybe not an octave, let's try this one. I quite like that. I reckon that would sound good with a reverb. Do we have a reverb on this chain here? Yep, we've got a reverb over here, so let's play with the automation of this. Let's bring the dry wet value of the reverb. So I've just clicked on the knob, selected this area, and let's drag up the dry wet. And make sure we leave the tail on it so when it finishes it keeps going. Maybe there. And let's bring the decay time up. Sounds good. I reckon we could even put some... Let's change the hi-hats around a little bit. Let's make them a bit more busy. So what do we got here? Here's our open hi-hat. So let's open up this hi-hat. Set the grid to narrow. And I'm going to select all of them. Hold down the option key, drag it back. So all those notes are still selected, so if I move the velocity of, or the volume of one of those notes down, it'll move them all down, which is good. And now I can hold down option key and, oops, Control Z, get back. With them all selected still, hold down option and drag once more and once more. Let's turn the loop on here and let's make it really short because we don't actually need it to be that long. Let's bring this hi-hat up. That's all good, but the this note here is a little bit too long. So if we go into the impulse here, remember we're working with this sample here, which is number 3, and if we go down to the drop down menu and find the 3 envelope decay, which is here, if we bring that down, it'll shorten the note for us, hopefully. That sounds good. Let's go back to the notes. All of these ones could be a little bit louder, I think, so I'm just going to drag to select them all and drag them up. Maybe this one here, just before the loud one, could be brought down just a fraction. We'll just drag that out. So that'll do for that, but let's go over here, and what we're going to do is we're going to build it up again here, and build it up again here, and this is going to be the final phrase before we strip everything back, and this is just going to be the outro of the drums. So we're over at this loop point here. Make sure those hi-hats are out. So what we could probably do here is let's bring this bass line back in and play with it a bit. I might just add a new audio channel here underneath it and call this, we'll call this, just call this Tech Bass 2. So I'm just going to copy a chunk of that and paste it down here. Now we need to get rid of the bass out of there. So let's put in an EQ8. Turn the low pass into a high pass, the pole into a high pass, and bring it up. And let's listen to it with these these new bass lines. We might be able to get rid of this loop here. This is the high end of the new bass line which we created. Let's have a listen to that as a whole. we're getting a bit busy now and a bit muddled, so let's go over to this synth here. Here it is here. I've got a utility sitting here already, so let's just use that by bringing the gain down a little bit here. And we'll do the same over here. Here's a gain, and we'll bring it down. We're just kind of making room now so we can get a bit more things going on. I reckon a fun little thing to do here is, I don't know, let's say this area, let's start glitching it up a little bit. So we're going to work really quickly. I'm going to cut, paste, add notes in, bring notes out, stretch things out a bit to try and give an interesting new feeling. So let's have a listen from the start. And alright, we'll do this in small loops. So we'll start here. Let's listen to this. I'm going to take the hi-hats out here. I'm going to take the bongo out here. I'm going to get rid of that there. Let's go up and listen to that high bass. So that white noise is quite loud there. So let's automate the output of the compressor. I'm just looking for anything with a volume that I can bring down. Sounds quite good if you take everything out on a snare hit. It gives it a real cool kind of sudden stopping sound. Here's my kick. I'm going to chop this up a bit. I'm going to make another point here, open it up, go like that. Open up this one. Let's fuck with this. Okay, I think a triplet would sound good here, so actually what I'm going to do is go back into the narrow. I'm going to slice each one of these out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to go, make sure we do that with the grid, not tripled. So slice, slice, slice. I'm going to triplet the grid back on, and I'm just going to drag these out so that they are tripleted instead of static. We need to do the same with the bass line here. So I've just sliced that. We're going over here, triplet the grid, make it narrow, and then just drag these notes so they match up with the grid. And we'll do the same here, and we're going to lose a note, but that's right. So obviously the hi-hats need to be changed as well. So if we open the hi-hats, Control E to slice it. We slice it because if we change it, then all of the hi-hats will be in a triplet, which is not what we want. We just want it in this bar. Triplet the grid, make it medium so we can see the notes. Get rid of that one. Just drag that loop out a bit. We're going to triplet this as well. We'll get rid of that note, don't need it. Turn the triplet off. Let's have a quick listen. might do the same again with that snare hit and just have nothing playing on that snare. Just here. That sounds good. Let's move it over to the next loop. Let's just play with this little part here. So I'm just going to take this, hold down the Option key and duplicate it out, see how that sounds. And let's put an auto filter on here. We need to keep it, we'll put it to a high pass, but make sure it comes all the way down. Select the frequency, and we just want the high pass to go on this part here. And we'll just have it sweeping down like that. Let's go the main synth, we'll use that gain, and we'll just bring the gain down on this utility and open up an automation line and duplicate that across. In fact, let's just quickly slice this clip, open it up, and let's add in some notes down here. That white noise is still coming through. I might just completely turn it off for the time being up until the next one, so I'm just going to select that area, drag down. Let's play with the kick a little bit more. Where's our kick? Get rid of the hi-hats. Even play with the bongos here, make a wee slice. Let's make a really fast roll. So I'm going to select the pen tool and just draw a line for the volume. A bit too quiet. And let's just do something crazy and pick the pan, and we'll pan that hard, say left. Also get the dry wet of the ping pong delay off for that part there. So you can make it a little bit louder. We delete every second one, see how that sounds. And this bass, I'm still not happy with this. Let's make these notes shorter by just deleting the second half of each of them. might even play with the EQ, try and bring this out even a little bit more. I'm going to put a limiter after it, so we can push it quite hard. I suggest we take out the synths here. I think they're overpowering the mix. And let's bring where's our little techie sounds that we had? We put them over here somewhere. Must be these ones here. So I'm just going to copy these. Remember, these are our techie little sounds. They'll come in quite handy when we're doing this glitching up stuff. So let's put that in there. Have a listen. So we can go on and edit this. Let's find where there's a gap and just add in notes at random. Good sound. So you see, I'm just finding gaps in the bass up the top where we can chuck these in. So we need to work on this part here. Let's just make it really short. I'm going to take this here, I'm going to hold down Option, drag it across, double click it, reverse it. I didn't quite have the effect I wanted. Let's put this one here and reverse it. Let's see how that sounds. Reverse. Maybe make it an octave higher just for fun. Even make this one an octave higher. Just dragging the transpose of the clip up. Duplicate that. Let's put in a redux for fun. And we'll make just this set of triplets. I like this little extra kick here. Let's take that out. I think the bass, the sub bass is even too busy here. So let's just change it so there's just a note on every offbeat. So it's kind of a mix of just doing lots of really busy things and getting to the point where it's too busy and then taking away and repeating that over and over. And each time you do it, you shape the sound a little bit better. These notes sound alright here, I think. I think absolutely no wet value on the delay for the ping pong. Let's just quickly make a build up to that point. Where's our white noise build up? Go across here. Is that a white noise build up? We'll have to remember that's there, that'll be quite fun later. So we're just going to drag this white noise clip across over here just to build up to it. Let's just change this one a little bit, put in maybe a few more notes. Excellent. Let's use a send return track here. I don't think we've used any in this tune. A send return track is a track which kind of sits down the side of the main mix. It's not like an audio track or a MIDI track like we've been using. It sits over in the corner if you want, and at any time you can send something to a return track, and a return track will put it back to the mix. So if we've got these A-B returns down here, they're sitting here, we can scroll through and you see the A-Bs will always remain here. So these are good for doing things like, let's put in I want to put in a filter delay on my A return. I'm going to turn the left and the right off. I'm going to set it to 3, have quite a wide filter on it, lots of feedback, lots of volume, and absolutely no dry volume because we just want this to delay. Now, if anything that we want to delay, we can just send it to this track and it'll happen kind of off at the side. So for example, what I had in mind here was where we had our synth line, this little thing we're working on. Now if I click on the send return values, which are here, so this is A and this is B, we click on A, we can see it says A filter delay because it's renamed it to filter delay because that's the effect that we loaded onto it. Let's pick these two notes and let's drag the value up. So those two notes only are going to get sent to this filter, and then it's going to come down and nothing else will go through it. But the filter will continue to do that. Let's see if that sounds good. And you can see the level of the filter delay is currently working with. Let's bring the bandpass down. Might be a little bit too epic, but it's kind of a good way to end a phrase, you know. I mean, we're taking out a pretty prominent part of the just the tune here, so it's a good way to kind of set it off and tell it to go away. And let's just get rid of some notes around here. We'll just have a snare there. That's all good. Let's work on the next loop here. We'll do this one, this one, this one, this one. Now right here, I'm just going to introduce a completely new element here just because I've got a sound in my head. I'm going to delete the bass. We don't want that. We don't want U bass. We don't want this. Actually, let's get rid of everything in that bar. It's a bit brave, but I have a feeling we can do this. I'm going to insert a new MIDI clip here. And I'm just going to call this, we'll call this square because I want to load up a square wave. Let's load up. Right, we'll use operator. I'm going to put in a note, and I want it to be a G, and I want it to pitch bend down, but I want the pitch bend to start here. So I don't want to, if I start it straight away, you actually miss the initial pitch of the sound. But if we leave it just for a bit, that's all good. I'm going to go into the where are we? Into this section of the operator where we get to define various MIDI and note values, and I'm going to change the pitch bend up to 12. So that's 12 semitones. So this note will pitch bend from its original pitch down to a low G. And let's make this, let's change the routing so we can use 2 oscillators and going straight out the mix, and we'll use a square wave. Turn the level up. And of course, let's put a filter on it. And let's draw the automation line so that opens. And we'll give it a, let's give it another square wave. So just using this oscillator C. Detune it slightly. And I'm bringing the spread up, so it's spreading the detune. Let's try playing with the curve of the filter a little bit. Make that a lot shorter. Give it a reverb. Reverbs always sound good on bass sweeps, I think. We'll change the decay time here up quite high. If we bring these course down, that's pretty cool. So I just brought the course value down of these 2 square wave oscillators, so it's an octave lower. Sounds pretty cool. We could even drag this back and add in a couple of notes like that. See if that sounds good. No, I like a big long note, so drag that back over. And let's bring the kick in just a little bit before. So by doing that, I'm going to drag this back here. I'm just going to create a little clip, splice it, open it up. Let's draw in a couple of kicks. See how that sounds. Make them quite short. Let's even make them a fast little roll. We can take these kicks up quite high and kind of make them come out of somewhere far up above. Maybe even higher. That sounds good. Where's our big white noise machine thing here? Let's bring this white noise clip that we've got. Let's just copy the start of it and we'll bring it across so it comes in after that bass drive. And here's our threshold. Just for this part, I don't want the white noise to sidechain, so I'm just going to get rid of the threshold. That's a pretty sloppy way of doing it. But and we could bring this back. We could actually put some notes in to make it go rhythmical instead of just being white noise. Like so. Even shorter. There's the reverb. Let's bring the dry wet down of the reverb for all of these notes. We don't want it down. Maybe bring the reverb back here. Let's get rid of these notes. Sounding pretty good. Let's make this square even more full power. Just give it a limiter and just boost the hell out of it. Quite a cool note. I'm going to insert a new audio track here. I'm going to copy that down into the audio track. I'm going to take this and I'm going to transpose it up by 12. I'm going to change the algorithm of how it's going to stretch that pitch to complex, which is a good mode for melodic things. And I'm going to pan that one to the left, slowly panning to the right, or fast panning. But over here, I'm going to do the opposite, and I'm going to select that and have it panning from the right to the left. Oops. That sounds good. Let's get rid of those hi-hats. Get rid of that. I'm just going to hide the return so we've got more track room here. Does that synth come back in, has it? Let's have a look. Yep, that's back in, we don't need that. Cool, let's work on this a little bit here. And I should get rid of this as well. Let's take this an octave lower, select all down, see how that sounds. Let's just make it one note, which is a G. maybe even lower, an octave lower. Select it, shift down. Now I remember before we were using this this pad break sound here, which I didn't really like it. Since we've got a synth sitting there, not doing anything, let's use it over here somewhere. So we'll delete all the notes, don't need it. Go back to our loop. Something I don't want in here. I'm going to chop these notes so they're much shorter by going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops. So we're going to make these a lot shorter by cutting the last half of each hit off. What can we do with the kick here? Let's do the same with the hi-hats. I'm just deleting some of these kicks, it's a bit too full on for me. Let's make sure all these notes are the same length. I'm going to do that by selecting it, clicking on the highest note, dragging down to the bottom, and then dragging up again. You can also do the opposite in the other direction. Let's do the same for the bongos. So I'm just going to select the bongos, Control E. So this is the clip we're working with. Delete everything. Where's that pad sound that we didn't really like before, which we're going to use? It's not that one, it's this one here, pad break 2. Let's put a note in here, a MIDI clip. No, we'll make it this long. Shall we give the give some swing to it? Drag this down, right down low. Get rid of the auto filter. Oh, what do we got here? We've got a lot of stuff. Get rid of the compressor, side chaining. That looks so good. We get rid of this one as well. Let's make this operator a square, maybe an octave low. We'll give it a filter, give it some envelope on the filter, and drag the decay time back. Change the curve a little bit. What's this one doing here? That sounds good. Put a redux on it, and I'm going to put it before the filter delay because I want the redux to be spread out a bit. There we go. Let's check it back here. Let's put a limiter over it. Just push the hell out of it. Find the sweet spot with the this downsample rip. That's quite cool. Because we've got the limiter, we can push and distort the hell out of everything around here. We don't have to worry about it peaking. Alright, we're getting somewhere. Let's have a listen to that phrase. That actually sounds really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this set here, and I'm going to duplicate this one. So we've already got it glitched up. It's already the same, but we can just glitch it up even further. I do hope whoever's watching this enjoys this kind of music. Can be a bit full on, but I figure the best way to show as many techniques as I possibly can is to do a very rapid, busy sounding tune. And I just love this kind of music. And this one, let's change the pitch of this one from up here. Okay, so what we're going to have to do here is I'm going to have to delete this half, or these however many bars, 3 bars here out, and replace them with 3 bars from over here, because we've actually screwed our phrasing off a little bit by copying this one, where in fact this set of 4 bars here is actually complementing that one. So I want to keep the first part of it. So again, I'm just going to select all of these last 3 bars, delete it, and select the last 3 bars of this phrase over here, like so. Copy it, paste it, and that should work. Let's have a listen. Excellent, so now we can glitch this up a bit more. Let's put this note here. Bring it up. Let's go 2 semitones. one semitone. Change it to complex, remember, just to smooth it out a bit. Just to show you the difference between complex. Here is, let's do it on beats, and pitch it up really high. Hear how it kind of separates it into kind of beats to help stretch it out, whereas if we use tones, we get that effect. Texture is, and complex is quite a cool one. But we just want that one octave above now. Just makes a little bit of difference on what formula you select from that menu. Let's get rid of these notes. Put something else in here. Bongos out of place. This is our big angry note. So I'm just drawing a new MIDI clip here. I'm just going to make sure we triplet it. Do two of those. Let's go in here, and for a start we'll get rid of the bass frequency, the sub bass of this, because we've already got our sub playing the nice triplet bass. So I'm going to select the pole, select the frequency of the bottom pole, and we'll just bring it up so it's out of sub range. It's quite cool. Wonder what happened if we sweep that pole, because it's got such a sharp peak. It's changing how this redux sounds. It's quite cool. Let's try that. And we could remember how we had that filter delay return track over here. Where are we? Few turns. So here's our filter delay, a return. Let's see what happens if we send this note off to a delay as well, because we can send anything off to that delay because it's there. Alright, this is sounding pretty good. I'm just going to have a quick listen just to that glitch part again. Excellent, I like the way that's sounding. I'm going to leave this part here. Next time we'll continue on with the glitching, and then I imagine we'll probably work on the outro and the intro, and then all that's left is to go around, polish it up a little bit, and yeah, we've nearly got a tune made. Exciting. TomCosm.com